read for you the passages from the Epistle of Interpretation. In the name of God, the all compassionate and most merciful, you have, I start to read, you have mentioned that you read in some book that, however, rationalized by inference from the lowest asphalt in the world, what is highest, finds the very same image. The prophets, from beginning from the highest to the lowest. And you have expressed to me your willingness to verify it, providing it these examples. You know that the first thing with respect to this matter is that God has given to his servant intellects, which are the light of his light, only so that they may be able to consider the whole of his ordering and by means of them, that they may have knowledge of his degree, qadar, and bear witness of God in accordance with the testimony which he has given of himself and of which the angels and however else among his creatures and blessed with knowledge, ulul ilm, have given testimony. After this, God arranged everything that we had created equally, so in his heaven as on his earth, and as signs, ayat, that show him, giving clear expression to his lordship and his most beautiful attributes. So, the entire universe is a book, whose letter constitute his discourse, which is read by those analyzed ones who come to perceive with the insight of truthful through al-fikra sadiqa, according to the breadth of their perception and their capacity for interpretation. İtibar. The searching glasses, absar, of their heart, qulub, turn black, muqallib. Then to examine the marvels of creation, both manifest and hidden, which are unveiled for the spirit one who managed to see, but remain veiled for the distraught one who turns his back on our remembrance figure and only desires the life of his world. This is the extent of his science, the domain of his thinking, and the aim of his aspiration, since his vision doesn't go beyond what he sees with his own physical eyes. Well, that we don't have too much time, I think I will jump to the end of my paper, and I'm sure you will read after the proceeding, because also I want to thank, before I finish my paper, the translator, because they really had a very hard work, and I want to thank them, all the team of the translator. Thereafter follows the test with an equal and detailed sentence of this type of reasoning, istidlal, which consists of inference beginning from the lowest level of the world to arrive at the highest. After this long interferal model which enunciates metaphysically the successive degrees of beings, the author, Ibn Masarra'da, also expounds on some of the essential truths which the prophets have transmitted. After that, again stressing the central question of the correspondence between the prophecy and rational contemplation, which is the end of the revelation, and before the conclusion of the epistle, Ibn Masarra'da adds the following. The message of the prophecy Masarra'da said, which has come down from the throne towards the earth, concurs fully with the process and the result of interpretation, al-bara, which proceeds in the reverse direction, stepping upwards from the earth towards the throne, without there being any difference between the two. No pronouncement comes from God to clarify anything without there being a sign which refers to his pronouncement and correspond with it. And conversely, there is no sign in the world which refers to a pronouncement which the prophecy has not shown and announced, whether it be the synthesis or in distinctive mode. Given that the demonstration, Burhan, concurs with the revelation and that the prophetic pronouncement and its inferior print verify one another mutually, the intellect finds itself obliged to recognize that the prophecy embraces it, comprehends it, and is superior to it. As we have seen, Ibn Masarra understands to spiritual tradition as the primary foundation of the need for reflection, presenting it in his work, albeit in other terms, on the one hand as man's unviolable right, and on the other hand as the unviolable duty of the believer of all times. Arising from his commitment with the Islamic revelation, Ibn Masarra shows that the Quran contains a permanent invitation to reflection and transposition, and has established for Muslims the right to the interpretation of the book, of the world, and of mankind. Thank you.